star.
Maybe it was a Manglore.
It's Castle Grayskull.
Yay!
We're getting a round of applause.
Woo!
Welcome to another episode of That Neat Toy Smell. I'm Pixel Dan.
I'm Devall.
What's going on, dude? You doing okay?
Fine now.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Not a whole lot. So it has been a huge week for one of my favorite toy
How
lines.
huge was it?
It was so huge
No.
that we're going to talk about it some more, because it's not like we don't talk about it enough. Masters of the Universe Classics. Oh my gosh,
Can we just rename that new toy smell to that Masters of the Universe smell?
We might as well. Well, they've had so much news and big things right now. It just happens to be one of the biggest things out there, so it's easy to cover because
It's true. We had
so much is going on.
The art show last weekend.
The art show just happened. Yep.
And
And at that art show, they revealed
Evil Lynn's accessories. Which,
well, first of all, it's the first time they've actually shown Evil Lynn to the public outside of Toy Fair magazine.
True.
So a lot of people were seeing her for the first time that haven't picked up the magazine yet. This is the first time she's been on the internet. And then they showed off her accessories, which included a staff like in the 2000 series.
A little knife.
The little knife, which I still don't understand, really.
she had it in the 2000 series.
I know, but I never understood it in that series either.
Nah,
you know?
who knows?
Whatever. She also comes with a wand, though, which is like what the vintage figure
The
came
vintage
with, which
figures.
I'm real excited about. I was real happy to see that. In fact, I will most likely be displaying mine with the wand, instead of the staff.
Yeah.
If they come out with an MYP version of Evil Lynn, she'll have the staff. But this one is the yellow one, it's the vintage one, so mine's going to hold the wand.
And she came with Zor.
No.
Or not Zor, Screech.
Screech, yes. And he's got the perch, and he's got the little armor on.
Yep.
So that was really exciting, because the Zor figure that came with Tila didn't have the perch or the armor.
But now we need the perch and the armor for Zor.
Well, I think we're supposed to be getting those at some point.
Good.
So yeah, that's pretty
Good.
exciting. So Evil Lynn's looking great. I'm real happy with the way she looks. I love her accessories. I know a lot of people were hoping she'd come with an additional head with a helmet off.
Yeah.
People have been hoping for that for a long time, and so it didn't come. A little disappointing, maybe. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how she looks. I'm pretty excited to get her. The big reveal, of course, they did originally mention they were going to show off one of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive versions.
Didn't happen.
At the last minute, they were instructed that they could not show off the San Diego figure yet, so they brought in the May figure instead to show off.
Which is a New Adventures
Which
figure.
is a New Adventures figure, so it's our first figure in the line that's from the New Adventures of He-Man, and it's Optic. And
How excited were you?
I was so happy. I did a dance of joy just all over the place. My wife was like,
You have to understand,
what is
Pixel
wrong?
Dan's favorite character from that line is Optic.
Absolutely. I've been one of the people that have been pushing for New Adventures to hit this line for a long time. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't appreciate New Adventures, and that's fine. I've been super excited about the idea of them being in this line. And Optic being one of my favorite characters, he's the one I've been wanting to see updated the most. And I couldn't be happier. He looks amazing. And he is now the one figure I am the most excited about. So I don't know how everybody else feels, but I cannot wait to get a hold of Optic.
The legs on him are the trapjaw legs.
The legs and the arms.
The arms, but the upper body, the actual torso, looks like it's all
Well, you know what they did? You know what they did is all of the upper body part is actually a new armor piece sculpted that they just have over the regular male buck.
Oh, okay.
So that's how they did that.
That's
but
cool.
The armor piece is all new. One noticeable difference was the pelvis piece is a brand new piece.
Yeah.
Which is going to be the same piece. It looks like it's going to be the same piece they use for Manny Faces and Roboto whenever he comes out. So that right there might give us a little bit of a hint of what's coming.
It looks like they've got those ready.
If they've sculpted that piece, we're probably going to get a Manny Faces or a Roboto pretty quick, I would hope, because it looks identical to the way the vintage figures looked.
And he has interchangeable eyes.
Interchangeable eyeball heads, which is awesome. So yeah, that's just the phone ringing. The phone rings every time we decide to film.
That's fine.
People like to call the store.
That's what happens when you take a Killing Enterprises.
That's right. But yeah, interchangeable eyeballs, and I mean that's just so cool. I mean, how can you not love a character that has an eyeball for a head? Seriously. And people are like, he just doesn't look right, he's too sci-fi or whatever, and I think that is a stupid argument. Too sci-fi for He-Man?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen characters like Manny Faces or Roboto or any of those other guys? Optic is not too sci-fi for Masters of the Universe.
This is what happens when you get those people that grew up with the original series that hated the New Adventures series and still hate them into their old age now.
And that's the problem.
And they just can't get past the fact that that was a different line of figures that used the same, characters, a new story.
Absolutely.
The argument that too sci-fi is ridiculous.
Look, I understand why people don't like the New Adventures toy line or the cartoon series. And if you don't like it, that's awesome. That's your opinion, and I have no problem with that. What I think is stupid, I'm going to straight say it, I think it's dumb when people are like so blinded by their hatred of the New Adventures series that they immediately throw out claims like, that's a terrible looking figure, or
that's a terrible looking figure.
That is awful, and it's too sci-fi for Masters of the Universe.
It's too sci-fi for Masters of the Universe.
Is there an echo in here?
It's dirt, it's fine.
Those arguments don't make any sense to me, because if you really look at that figure, you cannot tell me that is a terrible figure. That is a beautifully sculpted figure. And for you to say it's a stupid looking toy, it's just because you don't like New Adventures. Or for you to say that it's too sci-fi or too space-themed for Masters of the Universe, again, that's just your hatred for the New Adventures line, taking control of your opinion on the figure. It's silly for you just to go out there and make claims like that just because you don't like it. It's one thing if you don't appreciate New Adventures and you don't want to buy the figure. Cool, that's cool. I have no problem with it.
But if you have the subscription, too bad you're getting it anyway.
And you can always sell it to somebody who wants it, or throw it on eBay, whatever. You don't have if you've got the subscription and you're mad that you're getting the figure. Find another collector who does want it and sell or trade with them.
Quit your bitching.
It's like we've known since the beginning of this line, since it was first announced, that we were going to get New Adventures figures. We knew before this year's subscription went on sale that there would be at least one New Adventures figure this year. You cannot get mad that this figure is in your subscription. It's your own fault.
I can say that word, right?
What?
Bitching?
Yeah, we can say bitching.
Bitches!
So
radical.
So this week it was my turn to rant. That was my rant on Optic.
That's what happens when you host a show with me and I rub off on you.
Maybe it's just because I like the character so much.
Not rub off on you like that, dirt.
Whoa. We're at a new level here. Okay, we're going to change the subject now.
What else? We got news that Man at Arms is going to be reissued.
Man at Arms is getting a reissue in February.
Disco Man at Arms?
Not Disco Man at Arms.
Not Disco Man at Arms.
Mattel, for the love of God, will you make Disco Skeletor so we can shut dirt up?
Yeah! Shut dirt up! Woo!
What
else happened? What else did we see?
Well, they also showed off 4 accessories, which was like a teaser for things to come.
She-Ra's shield.
And yes, 2 of them I am absolutely sure about. She-Ra's shield and the vial of acid that would come with Keldor, which is, of course, the acid that ended up burning his face to make him into Skeletor.
Yes.
Those 2, it's almost positive, so we can almost guarantee that we're getting a She-Ra and a Keldor sometime this year, which is fantastic news. I'm happy with both of those. The other 2 things they showed off was a shield that looks like He-Man's, but it's painted like a silver and white with like rivets around it, and one that looks like the Power Sword, but it's like a yellowy gold color. I have no idea what either.
Well, which a lot of people were claiming that could have been Thunder Punch He-Man, since the vintage originally came with a gold sword. But yeah, I agree with what Pixel Dan said, and the fact that it's probably going to be part of the weapons pack.
Weapons pack is what I'm thinking. I think it's too early to get Thunder Punch He-Man. We just got Battle Armor He-Man this year,
and the fact that all the subscribers are getting Wondar as well, which is
and we have a Wondar this year. I highly doubt we're going to get Thunder Punch He-Man as well. I honestly don't even know if we'll ever get a Thunder Punch He-Man. I mean, the whole cool thing about that figure in the 80s was that you put little caps in them and he made the popping cap noise, and they're not going to do that on the new one. So, and it's not like he's got like a really cool costume in my opinion, so I doubt we're going to actually see a Thunder Punch He-Man figure.
I doubt it.
That's my opinion. I don't know what that sword's for. I mean, they've talked about doing a weapons pack, so maybe those are 2 accessories for the weapons pack. I really can't think of anything else that those would be for at this point.
You know what else Mattel announced this last week?
What's that?
That they're putting a forum on MattyCollector.com.
MattyCollector.com, yeah.
Now let me get this straight. Now this is nothing against Scott Needlich, Toy Guru, nothing against the guys at Mattel. Seriously, Are you out of your minds? Let's think of it this way. Yeah. Here's a company that their Facebook page, they finally had to go through and start editing because there were nothing but cursing rants and raves on there about just the most ridiculous stuff.
Out of control.
It's out of control. Now you guys are going to add a forum. I hope to God that you have forum moderators working round the clock on that thing, reading every single post, because if you don't, it's going to turn into the Facebook page. You are opening up the floodgates on some of your most vocal fans in the world. And think, oh, it'll be fine. What?
I just got to throw this out there. We got He-Man.org.
Yeah. Why do you...
Yay, Val!
I understand, like, wanting to try to build your own community. You guys already have a community. It's on He-Man.org. It's where your community's at.
I kind of applaud them for their efforts, because I think they know what they're getting into. And... it's going to be rough. I mean, I can't believe... When I get on that I don't even go to that Facebook page, first of all, because...
I do some days just to read. Dirt and I do, because we get a good laugh out of it.
I can't believe some of the things people write on there.
Yeah, like, it's
ridiculous. People get so out of control. Toys are serious business, dude.
Dude,
I'm just going to say that. Toys are serious business. Gosh. So yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll definitely keep tabs on that and see how that goes. But
it's not going to be pretty. That's all I got to say. I mean, I'll sign up for it and troll it. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't like trolls, but I will get on there and probably never post anything and just read and see what happens.
That's not trolling. That's
true.
That's what is that?
Well,
called?
Some people could say that's trolling if you don't participate.
No, trolling is like when you spam the boards or whatever. You're just a lurker.
A lurker.
A lurker.
A lurker.
So yeah,
good thing we cleared that up.
Good thing we got that cleared up.
Makes me sound like some Clive Barker creation. I'm the lurker.
Proper forum etiquette.
Dirk's giving me an odd look. No.
All right. So yeah, lots of big news from Mattel this week. And speaking of Mattel, we're actually going to jump into this week's video review segment
of a line that you guys probably, number one, if you remember, A+ for you, and number two, you probably don't remember seeing ever.
I bet if you either don't know that this even existed or you completely forgot about it, but this is an old toy line from Mattel from 1989 called Men of Metal. So let's jump into the video and check it out.
In the late 80s, the smaller pocket-sized action figure was becoming a common thing to see in the toy aisles. From Kenner's successful Mask toy line, to later lines like the Shadow Strikers. It was becoming the cool thing to be able to carry your toys around anywhere you went. This brings us to 1988, when Mattel released a brand new line of pocket-sized action figures they called the Men of Metal. The Men of Metal had one specific gimmick. Each tiny action figure included a matching badge that doubled as a carrier for the action figure. The badge had a small clip on its back so that kids could then clip it onto their belt or even their shirts. It doubles as both a role-play toy and a miniature carry case for their Men of Metal action figures and their accessories. It's actually a pretty cool little concept. The Men of Metal figures were based off of various military and rescue characters. They were divided into different factions such as the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, firefighters, SWAT, and the Coast Guard. The description from the back of the box reads, "You are the general in charge of the heroic Men of Metal. The treacherous traitors are on the move, ready to sabotage your personal army. Red alert! Man your battle stations." Okay, let's stop right there. It mentions the treacherous traitors. Apparently, these are the bad guys that are out to get you and your Men of Metal. But the interesting thing to note is that this toy line did not include any bad guy action figures. Only good guys were released. So I guess that means you were supposed to take your tiny army and go fight crime in your local town. I don't know. The names of these figures are actually one of my favorite parts. Just check some of these out. Errol Thunderclap West? Pete Crosshairs Peterman? Marco Beach Bum Aldretti. Oh, and this one's great. HH Boom Boom Haley. Seriously, these names are hilarious. The figures themselves actually have a pretty standard amount of articulation. They can move at the neck, the arms, and the legs, which was pretty common of what we saw for most action figures around this era. Each figure contains 2 accessories, which were usually guns, except for the exception of the scuba diver who had a gun and a pair of flippers. Each figure also had a backpack that plugged into a small hole in their back. And then of course each figure contained their very own medal. Now these medals could actually carry their accessories and the figure itself in the front, and the backpack plugs into the backside. There was even an army transport released. This military vehicle contained guns across the top and had 4 slots on each side where you could place your Men of Metal figures. There were even 2 fold-up sections in the front where you could place 2 more of your figures. Now the armored transport also doubled as a carry case for the figures themselves. The vehicle folds open, where you'll find slots on the inside that will perfectly fit your badges with the figures in them. Once you've got all the figures placed inside, you can fold it shut, latch the front, and then the missile on the top doubles as a handle to carry it around. Now I do find this to be a tad funny, considering the badges themselves are supposed to be carry cases for the individual figures. But I guess if you don't want to walk around wearing 8 badges all over your body, then you could buy this larger carry case for your smaller carry badges to carry your carriers around. Phew! The Men of Metal toy line only lasted about a year or so, and gave us 14 figures and the armored transport. The concept itself was neat, but in my opinion the lack of bad guys really hurt this line. I mean, with no cool looking bad guy characters for your heroes to fight, the only option you really have is wearing them around on your shirt. And trust me, that's only cool for so long. Now if you're a fan of obscure toy lines, this might be a line worth checking out. The figures aren't exactly easy to come by these days, but when you find them, they're generally pretty cheap. And hey, if you like the idea of carrying around little tiny soldiers, or have ever wanted your very own badge, well then this line's for you.
Hey, welcome back guys, it was a great video.
Thanks. When I found these, what were you looking at? What are you looking at? That's my Mosquito shirt.
Yeah, but we're both wearing dark shirts with red emblems. It's kind of creepy.
Well, that's just because you always copy me. Devall always wants to be like Pixel Dan.
Oh, snap!
Oh, snap. Anyway, back to the toys.
I wish you dead.
So, Men of Metal.
Yes.
They were released in 1989. They were a very short-lived toy line from Mattel.
Yes.
A lot of people probably don't even know these exist.
No,
and
probably
I
not.
have to be honest, I'm one of those guys who slightly remember them from my childhood, but completely forgot they existed until I ran across these at a toy show.
Yeah, and now here's the thing: is that every figure came with 2 guns. It came with the 2 guns, the big old honking rifle. Check that out. And a little bitty semi-automatic with a silencer on it. They came with backpacks, which were kind of cool. Little backpacks.
Well, yeah, that's the cool. They had a lot of little accessories for the tiny little figures.
And now these figures are called Men of Metal, but the only metal on these figures is the hinge holding their legs together.
Well, okay. That's because it's not metal in the sense of
Oh!
metal.
Oh, it's metal.
Metal in the sense of a medal that you wear. See, a lot of people get that wrong, too. But it's a kind of a cool little concept, because the whole thing is it's just all military-based guys, or police officers, or firefighters, or what have you. Right, exactly. And they all come with their badges, and their badges work as little carrying cases for the figures. So you've got the little figure that stands inside the metal.
It clips onto the back.
Yep. And the little guns fit inside the metal, and the backpack actually attaches right here to the back of the metal. So you've got this whole little set in this compact little thing that is, the whole point of this is that it's designed so that you can carry it around with you. And yeah, each of the medals have a little clip on the back of them so that you can clip them up on your shirt, or you can clip them down on your pocket, or however you want to do it. So like the whole point was, you had a bunch of kids going around like trying to see how many medals they could just carry around with them, with all these different action figures on them. That was, that was kind of the whole idea behind them.
No, I like the little playset too, the little carrying case, because it's got some guns on it.
It's really the only.
It can fit the characters here. The fact that the characters can stand inside the little doorways.
Now it's
closed.
This is really the only vehicle that came out for the line, and it's actually like doubles as a carry case, exactly as you see here. So it folds open, and it's got a spot to hold all the actual badges with the guys on them on the inside of it. I think it's got a slot for like 8 guys on the inside. Yeah, you can hold eight figures on the inside with their medals on it, so it's pretty cool. Oh, 6. I cannot. I don't know math. I don't know math.
I count the potato.
I can count the potato.
Hey, I like that. You can't see this on camera, but on the very back of the badge where the backpacks go, it literally says "backpacks fit here."
Well, see, they gotta let you know. It's instructions. So the little battle tank here, when it's closed up, it actually works as a vehicle. It's actually got wheels on the bottom and everything, and it holds. It's said to hold 14 men of metal on it. So you actually have like these little fold-out guys here, and you can fit the figures inside, and they all stand on the little sides here. So you got the drivers up front, you got the guys in here. It holds 14 guys, which coincidentally is the exact number of figures that were released in the entire line.
Yes.
There were only 14 characters actually released between 89 and 90. So if you bought the whole set, you can, in theory, just carry them around right here in your one carry case, because there's room for all of them. It's pretty neat.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Some of the names on here are great. Terry
the
Machine
names.
Gun Traub, Marco Beach Bum Aldrete, David Cool Hand Russo.
My favorite is still
Pete Crosshairs Peterman.
Pete Crosshairs Peterman. These are brilliant. I love them. No, see, the names are great. Like, we got, what is it? H.H. Boom Boom Haley. H.H. Boom Boom Haley.
And this series came out at the same time as New Adventures, right?
89, 90, so this was about the time the New Adventures came out.
It's obvious Mattel was focusing all their attention on New Adventures and just really just make something, we don't care.
It might have been some downtime for them, I'm not sure.
But it is a neat little toy series. I mean, it really, truly is an interesting little footnote in the 80s and early 90s of toys.
I mean, it's really cool, especially for like anybody that's a big collector of the micro stuff, the mini stuff. These fit right in with that whole thing, and it's kind of funny too, because these are right around the same size and scale as some of the other stuff from Mattel around that era, like the Computer Warriors.
Oh yeah,
and
Shadow Strikers.
I think this is around the time that Kenner was kind of putting out the Shadow Striker, like the mask and all that stuff. So it almost makes me think that that was kind of Mattel's whole idea behind these, is they were trying to cash in on that market that was kind of starting to go towards those micro figures like this. Right. So around the time, you were getting Mask, you were getting Computer Warriors, Shadow Strikers, all that kind of stuff.
They only retailed for $3.99.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember. Did you cover this in the video about where you got this from?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay, we've got a funny story. Actually, Pixel Dan's got a very funny story about how
I came across this.
How I package.
Yeah. So I bought these, and I wanted to do the video on it, and I got to be honest, there is nothing on the internet about Men of Metal. I have done as much research as I could, and I even contacted our buddy Toy Guru at Mattel, and he tried to give me some help getting some information on these. So, but as I was doing research on this, I actually came across a link for BigBadToyStore.com, and they had one mint on card Men of Metal figure in stock for like $2.99. So I picked it up for the episode. My pocket's screaming, whoa! So I picked it up for the episode because I was like, this is perfect.
It's just great that Big Bad Toy Store had it.
Yeah.
For a place that carries mostly a lot of newer stuff as well.
Yeah, you don't really think to go there for a lot of their vintage stuff, but it was, I just ran across it. So I guess I got to give a thanks to Big Bad Toy Store for helping us out here.
Kill and answer the phone! Okay!
Excellent. So, did he get it?
Okay,
good. so yeah, it really helped out. It gave me, it helped me identify a lot of the names and everything for the characters. So yeah. Thanks, Big Bad Toy Store. You guys are awesome.
Which is fun now because now a lot of these toy sites that, toys you had and different sites like that are going to come across this information.
That's right.
This is probably, I don't even think this is on their site.
That new Toy Smell.
A site, and that new Toy Smell will be the first to bring you this information.
You want news on Men of Metal, you come to that new Toy Smell. Because a lot of people are going to be searching for Men of Metal.
It'd be crazy.
So, but yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, it really is an interesting little footnote in the toy aisle history of that era. And I don't even remember seeing these. And I was in toy aisles all the time. My mom worked at Hills when I was young, because that's where I bought my first New Adventures. I bought the New Adventures 2-pack with He-Man and Skeletor in it, and my Skeletor broke twice.
Oh no!
So yeah, cool. I don't even remember seeing these in Hills, let alone anywhere. So
yeah, kind of obscure. One of those fun obscure toy lines, and that's one of my favorite things to collect is the random, weird, obscure stuff from the 80s.
Well, the obscure stuff is always the coolest stuff. I mean,
absolutely.
Even some of the stuff Dirk collects, like a lot of the old Tron stuff he's got is obscure because there wasn't a whole lot of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's go ahead and move on to today's fan corner. We don't actually have any questions. We have a special video segment today because our viewer Joseph actually sent us a cool little video montage of his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. So we're going to go ahead and give that a quick look, and we'll be right back. All right, very special thanks to Joseph for sending that awesome footage. I can't even talk now. It was so awesome I can't talk. But if you guys ever want to send us any pictures or video of your collection, or you want to ask us questions to be answered on the show, you can always hit us up at tntsadmin@gmail.com or head on over to the forums at popculturenetwork.com.
That's right. They're pretty now.
Yeah,
Thanks
we got
Dirt.
it's all prettied up. It looks great. So Pop Culture Network's coming together. Guys, always every Saturday, new episodes of That New Toy Smell. Every Wednesday, new episodes of the It Figures podcast.
And we've got tons of new shows on That New Toy Smell.
That's
we
right.
got stuff adding all the time.
That's right. We just launched the new series this week, Not Mint in Box. Our friend Rob Bays. It's a new show just about different various toys and action figures. So check the site out for that. We've got Swain Halleck's Radical Retro Turtle Toy Talk every Monday. So lots of great stuff.
Dirt's making out with a picture of Sarah Michelle Gellar. I just want to point that out
It's
there.
right
everyone.
behind the camera.
How much is that picture of Sarah Michelle Gellar?
I wish you guys were seeing this.
$1 million.
Wow.
So, and guys, as always, check out killinenterprises.com right here where we're filming on location. If you're looking for DVDs, comic books, video games, or toys and collectibles, we've got it in stock, so check us out. Yep. And until next Saturday...
what? Can we give them a hint of what's coming next Saturday?
What is coming next Saturday?
Let's just say we go back to visit our old buddy Dave.
Oh yeah, you guys remember that flag play set? We're going to have some more fun with that next week, so tune in next Saturday for a new episode of That New Toy Smell.
And until next time, gang, I'm Devall.
I'm Pixel Dan.
See you later.
Woo. Bye! Good job!
Toy Talk!